Okay, welcome. It's your host Shane Guilford, and you've joined us for round 5 of the NASCAR League for 2024. Proudly brought to you by SimHaus and Corky Tours. We are back in the NASCARs, and we are super pumped to get going this round number 5 at Phoenix. Before we get to it, we'll bring up the season standings thus far. Before we get on track, we've got a few new guys with us, and so we've got Vlad Tokarev from Russia up on, still in number 1 ahead of Bruno Kolev. These two guys have been up the front the whole season, so watch them battle it out tonight as we head to Phoenix. Jan Steneker can't make it with us tonight. He'll be out, and so too is Ollie from Finland. Matthew Parry is back from New Zealand, so he might move up a couple of places. As you can see, the points are very tight, from 4th all the way down to 7. Matthew Parry is still in 5. Alex Savelia is with us, so he might move up a couple of spots. We'll try to claim team. Scott White's not with us again tonight, so he pushes out from Queensland. Alexander Meshkov from Russia, he's here with us tonight. Great to charge. Put you guys on. We are in quality. Let's get on track now, as we have about 4 minutes to go. Live on track, we're watching Bruno Kolev. Currently on pole at the moment. And he's taking it easy on his outlet. Let's just got to look after those tyres. He's gone for a fast one, but he's just scraped the wall. Looks like we've got a new driver coming in from the UK, Jacob Steele. That's not going to be his best one. He's just probably running laps, Bruno. Laszlo Teglas from Hungary has been smashing the practice time through the week. Alex Savelia, the Russian usually we see him off the front of the mic for another lap. They're only 22nd laps, so these guys still have about 5-6 volley on that going. Craig Broadbent, the fastest of the Aussies. Our favourite Kiwi, Matthew Parry. Currently in P6, just taking the high line, trying to find that fastest route around the circuit. These guys are dipping into the pond below the yellow line, so as long as they can get through a top lap, we should see them close to the time. You see Matthew Parry just going under the line there. James Spotto, usually we see him in the V8s. Tonight he's racing with us for NASCAR, so it's going to be his first race with us, currently in V8. Now Queenslander, Troy Czeslowski in V9. Alright, so Jacob Steele's just jumped in from the UK. He's got the number 14 Cole Morgan car. And he's going to just get used to the vehicle itself, the setup, and everything to do with the racing. We can see the top 8 are within a second of each other, and the top 3, 4 are super close, even down to Broadbent and Parry. Very, very close indeed. First race is going to be 40 laps. So this will sort out the men from the boys. Now, the reason we can only see one car at a time at the moment is because they are in a private qualifier section. We're going to go on board with Bruno Kolev to see how he's getting the pole lap at the moment. So he's just strengthened his lead on the pole, which was 4-9. Taking a shot up there, that sector will be shortly once we get close on. Calef is even strengthening it once again. Each lap those tyres are warming up. He's not pushing it. Well, he's given himself 2 good laps and probably posting his best lap on the second of the 2 fast quali laps. Leslie to Glass for Hungary, racing for Tevez Sim Racing. Very odd circuit, Phoenix, Arizona. It's not your typical oval. It's very much a few lines can be taken, but which one will actually be the best tyre throughout the race. I'm sure these guys are hoping for some safety cars, because it doesn't look like they're going to make it. As you see, the end of qualifier session has just finished. We are going through to see who else is on track. To see Tokarev moving up to P3, pushing Sibeliev down into 4 for now, and Broadbent up to 5, Parry down to 6. Alexander Meshkov is parked it for now. He's also from Pro Mixed Flame. Sibeliev's still out there going to spun. That'll be the end of him. And will this one count? No, it won't, so he'll stay through P3. Okay. So, we'll get the results now. And on pole, it's going to be Bruno Calef. Next to him from Hungary, it's Laszlo de Glass. It's Vez Sim Racing. Then it's Vlad Tokarev, second row, next to Alexei Sibeliev. Craig Broadbent on the 3rd row, next to Matthew Parry. Paul Tasman, 3rd row, Trans-Tasman. Then it's Alexander Meshkov with Jacob Steele from the UK. He'll be starting in 7 and 8. Then it's James Motto, Troy Kozlowski, rounding out the top 10. Alright, so we're going to go for a little commercial break. We'll be right back on Race 1. Stay tuned.
Baba, what are we playing?
Ya lo sabéis, it's Halo Day.
Yeah, one sec.
He's playing football, isn't he?
这家伙, you know he fancies himself a footballer.
Oh, whatever. Look, your love makes me strong, but your hate makes me invincible. All right, let's get on Halo then.
Let's go.
Ready.
Dale.
You went back this time, right?
Chill, chaval. I won't ghost you this time.
I'm going hallway.
I got right.
Uno fuera.
Up, another one down. Lock in. Next kill wins it.
Where is he? No lo veo.
Alicia, do you hear that?
Quick on him, top left.
Bet. I'll push it. He's one shot.
Game over.
Got him.
Well played.
Same time tomorrow then.
We'll see.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Nos vemos.
back, so we cut that short, but we are on track now for race 1. Safety car is in, so it's up to the boys. Bruno, and he's taken off. Got the jump on Laszlo. Vlad Tokarev goes straight within there. Looks like down the back, Laszlo's falling back to the clutches of Savelyev there. But it looks like Vlad's up on the inside of Bruno for the first couple of laps. These two are absolutely smashing it out front. Laszlo from Hungary trying to stay with him. Great broadband. Working that number 16 well as he goes up onto the wall. Defending against Laszlo to glass. We see them dropping down into the pond there, going out wide. The track's starting to rubber up. Oh, Kleisen in. Broadbent really just looking after the rubber there. He knows what to do because he's one of the V8 champions. Further back, James Spotto, first time in the NASCARs, and he's already made his way up into P5 here, the number 5, ahead of Alexis Savelyev. Not too sure if he's looking after the tyres properly there, but he's smashing it anyway, lapping the 27.3s. Vlad still out in front, ahead of Bruno Kalev. Argentina supporting the Argentina colours there for Pro Mixed Lane. Currently got the fastest lap of the race so far with a 26.7. Voice at the back, looks like Laszlo's got the job on Broadbent further back here. So we go up to the drying can, send that up into the sky and see where everyone is. You can see Tokarev and the left up front jumping third and fourth, which is Broadbent there, and then got the rest of the field behind. Savelyev trying to get the inside of Spotto. Spotto going in nice and deep, and he's going to start running out of tyres here. He's just done really hold it. No, he's taken out Matthew Perry. Will they bring out the safety car? Doesn't look like it so far. So it looks like he's held onto that. Where is Spotto? He's held it, kept it straight. I don't know how he did it, bumping in with Matthew Perry, but they're still going. There is a yellow, and that's Savelyev. That's Laszlo to glass. We'll see if the replay, see if we can see what happened. Looks like he just got it wide and then it snapped back. The oversteer tried to keep it going, but it has brought out the, no, it's just a local yellow. It is safety car, my apologies. So the first safety car after 7 laps of 40. My guess is these guys are going to come into pit lane for a fresh set of boots. This track is very harsh on tyres, so are they going to trip over themselves as they all rush in? The pit lane is currently closed, waiting for all the drivers to get back in formation, and they'll follow the on-screen prompts thanks to R-Factor 2, which will tell them exactly where they have to be on the grid, as they were when the yellow flag did come out. Thank you, I've just got to drop that music there. Sorry for that interruption. Okay, so we've come out for the first safety car on lap 7. Looks like Teglass has rejoined at the back of the field here. So the leaders have stayed out. looks like safety cars taking to the outside, letting these boys stay in formation. And that is Broadbent dropping into the lane now. So too Matthew Parry. And that looks like Mezhkov in there as well. So they're going to come in for their set of tyres. And that is Broadbent. And Parry just to the left of screen there. That's Mezhkov only taking the outside tyres, my guess. That's why he's come out so quickly. And maybe some fuel for these boys as well. So we are still under safety car at the moment. On board with Vlad Tokarev in P1, number 1, and he's currently leading the championship as we speak. Give a quick look at the live standings as it sits. Tokarev in P1 on 74 points. Kalev just behind from Pro Mixed Flame on 69 points, and Henk-Jan Steneker is watching out there. G'day to Hank from the Netherlands, probably working and trying to watch this at the same time. And then Ollie's from Finland's not joining us tonight either, so he'll probably drop down a couple of positions after tonight's race. We've got 3 races for you tonight. The first one is 40 laps long, then 50 laps long, and then the feature later on as 50 laps. Hopefully we don't get any greens for that one. Alright, so after the pit stop, it looks like Mezhkov gained a couple of places there, jumping Broadbent and Parry in 8 and 9. So Mezhkov now sitting in P7 for the restart. Will we see the lights come out once we pass the start-finish line? Okay, so lights have come out. Tokarev doing his best to warm up those tyres or keep them to temp. And it is now up to the guys to grid in position, get back into formation. Tokarev on the high line, which is surprising for a P1 position. I would have thought the inside line would have been better, but Tokarev can run right around the outside. And look at that, Jacob Steele, first time with us tonight from the UK, which is yet another country that is represented here tonight. We've got Russians, Argentinians, Australians, New Zealand, UK. Who else is in there? And even a Queenslander. And a Hungarian, I should say. Sorry, Laszlo down the back in the number 80. For Tevez. Up the front now for the restart. Tokarev's going to have the jump. He's going to have to fox Bruno, who's right on his tail. Got the green, they're both off, a bit of a nudge. Bruno's going to get the inside line. Bruno's gone nice and tight. Tokarev around the outside. Jacob Steele drops back as well. And James Spotto back up into P4. Mezhkov on fresh tyres. Look out for those 3. They're going to be chewing up these drivers in the early stages of the lap. Laszlo's got a lot of work to do down in P10 at the moment. But he also has a fresh set of tyres as well. So they're going to want to make some advantage. As we go to the front, Bruno Kalev now on the inside of Tokarev, and that is Saviliev up into P3. Spotto, the best of the locals, as he's really suffering trying to protect that line. Look at him squabbling behind Spotto. And it looks like we've got another. And that looks like so on the replay, looks like Parry come down, or he just broken into turn one. That could be a netcode. And that's brought out yet another safety car. Alright, so a bit of a procession now. That was lap 15 or 40, not even halfway through. We're going to consume about 4 laps under safety. So it's Bruno up into P1 now, and as he got the jump on Tokarev. Okay, so if you are just watching us, you can get all the track details and car details with links to the mods in the description down below. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and that notification bell. Oh, some of the drivers are getting a bit feisty, overtaking before the leader has got in, so he may receive a penalty. Look how tight it is in pit lane now. 4 drivers wanting all tyres. Spotto in again, and so too Parry. Parry's going to come in for fuel and tyres each time. Right, so we see, who was that? That looked like Jacob Steele just dropping in quickly. James Spotto just out of his box there, so it's going to take him a bit longer to fill up fuel, and that's Parry as well. These guys have got plenty of time to get fresh rubber. Oh, Khalef in as well. So he'll be rejoining back in P8, giving an advantage to Tokarev, but with those, if we go green till the end, Tokarev's going to really suffer towards the end there, as we're watching Spotto rejoin back up into P9 and Parry. It's further back. Spotto's got to come back in. I think he's trying to serve a penalty now, because he would have received one overtaking. See if Spotto actually just comes through the lane, or he stops for a stop and go. He didn't really stop for long, so maybe the pit crew wasn't ready for him coming into the lane. So he stopped in. Okay, so this looks like just serving a penalty. Could be a 10-second penalty. Not too sure if you can actually serve it under the yellow. As he rejoins now onto the back of the pack, Vlad Tokarev back out in front, Broadbent there, and that's Chislowski on the inside. So we've still got flashing lights on the safety car. My guess is they're going to go out this lap, so that will give us 1 lap run to the green flag. You may hear it in the background very slightly, the words green, 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 and that'll be the cue for the guys to just go for it, drop the hammer, and hope for the best in turn 1. Alright, so there it is. The flashing lights are out on the safety car. We are going green, and we will see these guys rejoin. as we're on board with Bruno Kalev. Okay, so we'll go to the front now because Meshkov is right next to Vlad Tokarev. So the safety car is in. Tokarev is on pole. He's chosen to take the inside line. That wasn't his best run on the previous restart. There it is, green, green, green. And it looks like Jacob Steele's up next to Troy Cieslawski. Bruno trying to get through. Is this going to cause an accident? No, they've held it firm. Bruno just brushing the back of Jacob Steele as we see Tokarev going down the inside. Bruno trying to get a couple of places there as he comes back up on Steele. Spotto hot into turn 3 and to Glass again causing another safety. So that's the safety car coming out once again. We saw that. Just keep your eye on the 14 and Laszlo just getting wide from Hungary on the outside and collecting Jacob Steele on the outside there. So back with the leader as we get the safety car once again. Just going to write a note to the boys to take it easy on. That's Tokarev dropping out. Now he's back in. Checking the boys ping, the ball looks good there. So we're back grouped up now with Vlad. Vlad just dropping in and out. We'll check his. Not doing too bad. There is worse out there. Our server is hosted in the States because, as you can see, we've got a lot of international drivers with us tonight. So this is yet another opportunity for the drivers to come in for a fresh set of tyres. Broadbent's got about 5 strong laps. Bruno Kalev already up into P4. Cieslawski, Queenslander in 5 as well. Saviliev wants to get up a couple of spots on the restart. That won't be hard for him, and Spotto going to try and go in hot on the restart as well. So Jacob Steele and Teglas, P9 and 10. My guess is they're going to come in maybe to fix some damage. Keep an eye on them or to get tyres. And that's definitely Jacob Steele. He did hit the wall there, so he is coming into the lane while the rest of the crew stay out on track. How many laps we've got? We're just over halfway now. If we get a good run, we should be done in 15 minutes. Boys still rolling around now. And it looks like Laszlo's coming in once again. So to Jacob Steele. He's going to fix up a bit more of the car. All right, so watching Jacob Steele now, just getting some repairs done. Caused by, could be some suspension there, which is going to cause a bit of an issue if he's wanting to turn in. Heavy load on the front right, so he's going to want to get that fixed. All right, so it looks like he's done and back out there. All right, so we've still got the flashing lights. We'll watch Jacob Steele, and it looks like Laszlo from Hungary racing around to try and regroup to the back of the pack, who are currently in turn number 3. Going to join the back of Matthew Parry. Not too sure if Laszlo's got some heavy brakes on there or some really bad brake bias towards the front, because we saw before when he come up the back of another driver, he just locked up and went to the inside. I don't know if he was avoiding an accident or not, but Tokarev's got his definite position. Every time the lights go out on the safety car, he dips down to the inside and he takes the high line. The lead driver on the front row can choose either the inside or the outside line. This time on the third restart, he's choosing the outside. That means that Mezhkov from Russia will be on the inside and Bruno will be hot on the outside in P4. Craig Broadbent on the inside. Our Aussie in P3. Alright, so lights out on the safety car. We're going to go green this lap. Let's hope we see it to the end. 14 laps. It's quite surprising that we've had 3 already. This track is not that close. You can take different lines. It looks like the tail end really slipping out. There's the safety car going in. And we'll see on the restart. There's green flag. Bit of a bump and run from Spotto on Czeslowski there, but Tokarev and taking Bruno with him. Bruno up on the inside now. Well, Bruno trying to close in. He's got fresh tyres, fresher than Vlad, so he's going to be a lot stronger towards the end of the race. He's taking the inside line. He wants to get that inside. And that's the job done for... Here comes Saviliev as well in 3. And 3 Pro Mixed Flame drivers up in the top 4, chasing down the leader, Vlad Tokarev. Bruno trying to go around the outside on that pressure set. He's got the run. What's Tokarev going to do? He needs to come out and get right behind Bruno. That's exactly what he does, blocking the hole for Saviliev and Mezhkov. They're all probably on team radio. As we are now on green laps, lap 29 of 40. This is the first race of 3. You can hear them backing off. Saviliev getting loose there as he backs off the accelerator. Broadbent trying to get past Mezhkov. And that's Matthew Parry up into the mix as well. In P6, Laszlo to glass back there in the number 80 has moved up into P7 ahead of Troy Czeslowski, James Spotto, and Jacob Steele really affected. Back in the pits actually. Maybe they received pit lane penalties. They are both coming out of pit lane at the moment. But up the front it is Bruno Kalev, Vlad Tokarev, Alexei Saviliev and Alexander Mezhkov. Your top 4, then Broadbent in the mix as well. It's not too far behind. Oh, to glass on the inside of Parry there from New Zealand. Oh, Broadbent hot under Mezhkov. got into the back of Mezhkov. Mezhkov found napping or really looking after those tyres. We know that Broadbent is on a pressure set, so he wants to get past Mezhkov as fast as he can. I know Mezhkov also pitted. We saw him jump a couple of spots through that pit stop. Here comes to Glass on the inside from Hungary now. Looking down the inside, that's Mezhkov. And there is to Glass. Broadbent round the outside, to Glass trying to go in. They've got to come back up. And that's to Glass taking 2 spots there. Nicely done. Broadbent still around the outside, keeping Mezhkov low. It's really going to be burning those tyres if he's going to keep the low line. Looks like Kalev is stretching away. And then this is the race for P4 at the moment. As we've got Kalev, Tokarev and Sibiliev in your top 3. Then it's this group. To Glass, who's been hot all week on the server, practicing, clocked over 800 laps before tonight's racing, so we should see him further up the field. But he has had a couple of incidences which has seen him fall back. So Bruno is still out in front. That's Tokarev keeping him company, as he has done all season long so far. 5 laps to go. Very short 27-second laps. So under 2.5 minutes before we see the checkered flag. So Sibiliev out by himself, and then this race for P4 still on with Broadbent chasing down to Glass from Hungary. Mezhkov still there, so too Matthew Parry. There he is in the orange and yellow goodbye pork pie dedicated livery there. Parry in 7, then it's Czeslowski in 8, Spotto in 9, and Jacob Steele in 10, who has served the penalty in pit lane. I don't know if that was a penalty of like a pit lane infringement, but unexpected to see him come through under green, unless he's really suffering with poor suspension after that incident with Glass earlier on. With 2 laps to go, it's Kalev out front, then Tokarev. Staying low, trying to get the line. Mezhkov defending against Matthew Parry. They're all spaced out now. It's got Mezhkov with Parry for company. See the wheel angle on Parry's car really burning up that rubber, just trying to get that car to turn in for them. He's choosing to stay around the outside. He's got to back it off. Do they actually drop a gear for this last corner? Parry's just taking it easy. But on the last lap now, we've got the leader, Bruno Kalev, stretching away from Tokarev, only just over half a second away. But it's looked like it's going to be these two once again taking the honours. Last corner down the main straight now. And it is Bruno Kalev taking the checkered, then Tokarev, Sibiliev coming around ahead of Glass, Broadbent and Mezhkov. Matthew Parry bringing it home, and Spotto and Steele trying to get round on the last corner, but he pushes it wide. And that is Spotto and Steele crossing the line for 9 and 10. All right, so the race results, Bruno Kalev ahead of Vlad Tokarev, your top 2. Then it's Alex Sibiliev, nice and solid, gets the job done ahead of Laszlo de Glass. And in P5 was Craig Broadbent, solid job from him ahead of Alexander Mezhkov. Then Matthew Parry from New Zealand finishes in P7 ahead of Troy Czeslowski. And then it was James Spotto and Jacob Steele, your top 10. All right, we're going to go to a commercial break. I'm back, set up for race 2. Stay tuned, you know what to do.
Introducing the Racecraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.
Okay, welcome back. Ready for race 2. It's 50 laps this one. Boys are going to grid up, as you can see there on screen right now. We are race 2 at Phoenix International Raceway, and I'm your host Shane Gilfeather for round 5 of the NASCAR League 2024 for SimHaus Racing. If you want to join this league, the invite is down below in the description. More than welcome to join us at any time. We have 2 leagues running at the moment. The V8 League and the NASCAR League, both stocky V8s. And super pumped for this one. Okay, so the starting order for race 2, it's Troy Kozlowski on pole with Jacob Steele next to him. Then it's going to be Alexander Mezhkov, Matthew Parry in 3 and 4 next to him. Craig Broadbent, Alexei Savelyev from Russia. Then it's another Russian, Vlad Tokarev. Laszlo Taglas starting in P5. Then it was the top 2 qualifiers. Bruno Kalev. We've lost James Spotto, so he is no longer racing. So Bruno Kalev moves up a spot. So ready for the restart. Troy Kozlowski getting us away. Oh, Broadbent getting a huge jump, going from 5th to 1st in the turn 1. Massive effort. Oh, just get Bruno trying to hold on to it back there. He manages to do so, so there's no safety car coming out so far. Very close there. But at the front, it's the 2 Aussies. Troy Kozlowski on the inside. Craig Broadbent round the outside. Troy just washing off, coming up. He's flooring that accelerator, understeer to the max. And Broadbent gets the job done nicely. Vlad Tokarev slots right in from almost the back of the field, moving up into 3rd already. He wants to overtake these 2, following Craig Broadbent. All the way around the outside of Broadbent so far. Down the main straight we go, on board with Vlad Tokarev from Russia. Championship leader so far. And it's a big crew down the back there. Troy Kozlowski still up in the P3. Jacob Steele on the inside. Bruno Kalev heating up those tyres. Unable to get past these 2 so far. He slips back. We've got Matthew Parry around the outside of Kozlowski. Oh, but he's going to get trapped in there and boxed in with Kalev on the inside, and Alexei Savelyev's coming around. Oh, Bruno just touching front ends and rear ends in the middle there, trying everything he can. Oh, he's just cut across Savelyev. Very dangerous territory there as we go on board with Savelyev in P6 at the moment. Kozlowski taking the low line, but he's going to wash up to the high side. Kalev's going to get the job done into turn 1. Oh, so too. I heard a bit of tyre squealing there. Up ahead I can see Tokarev still trying to get ahead of Broadbent on the inside. That's the gap there. Beautiful sunshine here at Phoenix, Arizona. Very desolate area. Temperatures are super hot. Tokarev. Oh, we've got another yellow. And who was that? Could have been Kozlowski. Yes, it was. Kozlowski up the top, trying to stay out of trouble. But he comes down onto glass. And that's a massive, massive shunt. And that's going to bring yet another yellow. A lot of damage to these cars. There is 30% damage. As we're live now with Kozlowski coming down. He's just trying to get around the outside. Alright, so race leader at the moment after 7 clean laps. It's Craig Broadbent, then Tokarev. Jacob Steele wants to make up for race 1. Safety car is out, collecting the boys now, slowing down to a mere 70 kilometers per hour. It's going to feel very slow for these boys as they come around. Go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are still under safety car. Craig Broadbent hasn't dived into pit lane thus far. There he goes, the late dive into pit lane, trying to outfox the champion, but Vlad too smart for that. So too half of the field. Alexei Savelyev has found himself rolling up to the front with Jacob Steele from the UK. Let's see where he comes in. Will he stop in his pit box? Yes, he does. It looks like it's on the outside. We can see all the skid marks coming into the pits as we see the rest of the field just coming through now. Broadbent, the first one to pit. Fuel is consumed. Doesn't look like Meshkov wants the fuel. It looks like Broadbent has taken the fuel as we send the drone up into the sky, chasing Broadbent. That is now current leader, Jacob Steele. Will he stay out or will he come in with Savelyev and be relegated to the rear of the field? They do stay out behind the safety car. Lights will go out this lap. And Jacob Steele will decide. Looks like we've got another lap. We'll see whether who's in pit lane at the moment. Trying to identify. That's to Glass from position 5. Relegating himself down another lap. And that's extending our safety car period. We are on lap 10 of 50. Each lap well under 30 seconds. Very short lap for these guys. But under safety car, we are now lapping at minute 15s. So lights out on safety car. We are going to go green next time around. Jacob Steele choosing to take the high line on this one. Okay, so we can see Alexei Savelyev on the inside, Jacob Steele in P1 choosing to start the high line. Then it's Vlad Tokarev and Meshkov, 2 Russians, and then it's the Aussie Craig Broadbent. Next to him, the Argentinian Bruno Kalev, and right in front of us in the number 7, goodbye pork pie, it's the Kiwi Matthew Parry. All right, let's go. Who's going to get the jump? It should be Jacob Steele. He can go early if he wants to, but they've waited for the green. They can't overtake before the control line. Meshkov got the jump, but that's pushing, sorry, Bruno coming down, pushing Meshkov in between. Nice and tight through here. Oh, we can see Bruno getting rough and taking that middle line. Steele just dropping back a couple of spots there. And here comes Laszlo to Glass from Hungary. Steele round the outside. And it's Saveliev taking the lead. Parry taking the low line. Not getting that momentum, but he's carrying that all the way up the top of the apron. And Jacob Steele just crossing over there. Saveliev out on top. Tokarev behind, teammate Bruno Kalev from Pro Mixed Flame in the P3, and Broadbent is up into P4. That says Jacob Steele has lost a few spots on that restart, currently down in P7. But these 3, or 4 I should say, really challenging each other. On board with Craig Broadbent, just lost it on the inside there. So now we're on board with Bruno Kalev, doing all he can to get underneath, and he may just do it. Is he going to push high? But Tokarev's there. These guys should have spotters on there to tell them exactly where these guys are. We are under green, no more safety car. Oh, very tight here now. This is where the competition's at. Oh, Tokarev just dropping a gear through there so he can get a good launch coming out. That's a smart thing to do. The shorter gear ratio, the tighter the turning. Just drops another gear into turn 1. Starting to get a rhythm now, these 3. Very hard to pass unless it's deep under brakes, and you really are deep under brakes, I should say. Really just want to get a jump, but you will sacrifice tyre wear on exit. As Broadbent trying to stay close to these 3 out in front. Got Parry up into P5 at the moment, chasing down Craig Broadbent. And then it's to Glass and Meshkov. Jacob Steele down in the P8 at the moment. Still, he hasn't driven the ovals for a year, he said, so he's still getting used to the mod. Only jumped in it this week, so he's had a bit of practice. Now he's up trying to improve on P8 at the moment. Showing some good form in race 1. Let's see what he finishes in race 2 for the Brits. Alright, so it's still almost a 4-way battle for P2. On board with Matthew Parry now, watching everyone in front, trying to get the car to rotate and turn. Oh, he's got on the gas fairly late there. And he's gone down into the apron. He's lost his momentum, but look at the ground he's taking on turns 3 and 4. Making sure those tyres don't overheat into turn 1. Very, very hard to get this car to turn properly in turn 1. It's like turn 1 in Indy. There's only one line through there, and if you don't miss it, you're going to burn up those tyres. But he's doing pretty well to stay with these guys. You see Glass going high now, trying to get on the back of this four-way battle for P2. Kalev absolutely rolling out the front of these four. The leader from Argentina is just over a second ahead of the rest of the field. But this is where the battle's at. Oh, it's two-way for P2 now. Broadbent just losing touch a little bit, trying the best he can to maintain that momentum and staying in the draft of the two in front, which he seems to be doing down the straight, but losing it in the corners. Could be learning a few things. Look how much momentum he's carrying into turn one. That's a view back from Alexei Savelyev from Russia, looking back at Vlad Tokarev, who's been racing with SimHaus for a couple of years now, dominating any class that he joins in. Top class sim racer. If you're haven't heard of him before, he's definitely up there with the top sim racers in the world, and he's joining us for the NASCAR League for 2024. You see Glass getting up the inside of Parry in the background there, moving up a position into P5, relegating Parry down into 6 at the moment. So they're just taking their time, looking after the tyres. We're halfway through race 2, 25 laps down, 25 to go. Hopefully we don't get any safety cars, but that means we might get some green run pit stops. Oh, Tokarev just nicking the outside wall there. Broadbent coming in hot in turn 1, but pushes it wide. Glass also coming in hot and has to back it off. Tokarev starting to get that outside hot. You see him really struggling to get that car to turn in. Left now just circulating in the mid-27s, and Savelyev and Tokarev in the high 27s. And looks like Glass is coming back to join the party, making a four-way battle for P2. As Parry drops off, so too Steel. Kozlowski still on the lead lap in P9. Oh, Broadbent's going to get in the back. They're all going to go around, that looks like. Alright, so we're watching Broadbent, but watch the mistake ahead of him. I think Tokarev just clipped Savelyev, and then Broadbent couldn't brake hard enough, and the two go round. Alright, so we're back with the leader now on the safety car. Unfortunately that tap. My prediction, they're all going to come in for a set of tyres. They must do with at least 20 laps to go. We are definitely going to clock over the 30 laps under safety, so it should be a 20-lap sprint to the checkered flag, with Bruno Kalef's lead diminished due to this safety car. Race 2, 50 laps. We are 29 laps down so far, waiting for the safety car to pick up these drivers. Glass moving up into P4. Very strong showing from the Hungarian, and Broadbent falling back down. Is there any panel damage? It looked pretty light. It didn't look like there was major issues there. The damage is set to 30%, so it shouldn't really affect too much. Maybe some of the aero, but that'll be seen once we get back to green. As Parry and Meshkov is slotting into P6 as well. So this will be very tight in a pit lane. You can either scramble to get into your pit box with everyone else, or you stay out a lap later and come in a lap after and get your tyres done there. But how much track position will you lose doing so? So these guys are going to get nervous now. This is when we should see the guys diving into the lane. Usually left will stay high, but last minute drop into the lane. But that's not really going to affect anyone because they're just going to sit back and watch. Alright, so pretty much the entire field is going to come in for a set of boots. As we see the safety car go around one of the early pit stops. Let's see how much fuel they'll use on the restart as well. So Kalev currently back, but he's the first one out. He's going to pretty much overtake everybody and exit in P1 as predicted. Alright, so it's Mezhkov, Tokarev, Saviliev, Tokarev and Mezhkov. The glass dropping a spot. Looks like Mezhkov gained a position through that pit stop there. So Kalev picking up the safety car. So that's a field sliding in single file. When we get into the last lap, we will get into formation with a two abreast in the field. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast out there. If you are, make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell and get notified when the next race is on. And you are always welcome to join us at any time. Discord invite and track and car links are provided in the description down below. Read all about it in the description. As the lights go out, the drivers are choosing high and low, and it looks like Kalev has chosen the inside line for this one. That means to Glass will start in P5. Here comes Jacob Steele in 6. He's got to go high next to Glass, and Broadbent back into P7 after that incident. Right, so we see someone trying to come round, and that's Cieslawski joining on after that pit stop. Alright, so send the drone up high, let's go. This is the safety car restart. Safety car coming into pit lane now. It is up to Kalev to dictate when to restart. The boys are going on the green call. Safety car is in, so we're going to go green. Kalev getting the jump. Broadbent got to stay there. Can't overtake on the inside on the restart. So Kalev up front. Gets the job done. Tokarev moves into P2. Saviliev in 3, but will Saviliev get the momentum round the outside? On fresh tyres, he's going to burn them up doing so, but he holds it for Pro Mixed Flame, slots in behind his teammate in P1. And that's Tokarev and Mezhkov, yet another Pro Mixed Flame driver from Russia, slotting into P4. Got 15 laps to the finish. Let's hope it's all under green. It's going to be full speed ahead as these boys are absolutely pumping it. To Glass from Hungary is back leading the best of the rest in P5. But at the moment, it's Kalev out in front, and Sevilla putting a gap between him and Kalev and Tokarev, taking some valuable points as Kalev wants to regain the championship lead, taking it back from Tokarev, who's current championship leader. Mezhkov doing a great job staying with the pack as well. On board with Mezhkov in P4 now, going around the outside, but he's going to be burning those tyres. That front right. Will he go low? He does go low, but not as much as the other guys. Hard to go down there when you're trying to accelerate as hard as you can. Mezhkov is burning up these front rights. Is he going to last another 13 laps doing so? Only time will tell, or will we see Broadbent into Glass come through and take that position from him? But for now, Mezhkov's still up in the P4, staying with the leaders. It looks like they're gaining back up on Kalev out in front. Deciding to take the high line this time. Really hard to get the car to rotate. He's dropped a gear just to get the car to turn in. There they are from the outside, the top four. And further back, it's to Glass trying to join in. Broadbent up the inside of Jacob Steele now. Jacob Steele on the outside, just swirling. See the car unbalanced there. Broadbent getting the inside done. Oh, look at the job done. He's gone high to block the hole. Nicely done there. Harry trying to get through as well. Just gets Savelyev still out in front of Tokarev. Tokarev going up the inside. Will he make it stick? Savelyev sliding up the top there. While he's done that and drifted up the top, Tokarev's taking the position, but Mezhkov is back in the mix. Trying all he can to slot in behind his teammate, Alexei Savelyev. Only got 8 laps to go. Let's hope it stays green. We've still got one more race after this one. To Glass really looking after his tyres now. He's in the mix on this one. Glass in P5 at the moment. Can he make it P3 because Tokarev's moved up in the P2. Kozlowski in the pits, he can't last on those tyres. Glass going high now. Not too sure if Kozlowski's serving penalties there, but he's sitting in pit lane. I can't see that he's not in position to take any tyres. So let's give credit to Bruno Kalev, very dominant out here in the lead. He's taken race 1 and qualifying, and he's, providing nothing else happens, he's going to take race 2. Vlad just chasing him down as hard as he can. Got back down under a second now, closing that gap with 5 laps to go. Got the Savelyev dropping off now. We knew that he was burning up those fronts, but now look, he's coming under fire from Mezhkov and to Glass, and there's Broadbent trying to get in amongst it with 5 laps remaining now. It's Savelyev in P3, trying to keep it that way. He's only got 5 laps to defend. Another 2.5 minutes and the race will be finished. So this is the closest battle on track so far. It's Alexei Savelyev ahead of Mezhkov than the Hungarian to Glass in P5. Broadbent doing all he can to stay with him, but he's dropping back over a second gap now. And Tokarev is under the second gap, but he's unable to get any closer than that. Kalev really managing that gap to P2. He definitely wants the honours in race number 2. So I go to Kalev with 2 laps to go. That's less than a minute. Out in front, dominated from the restart and just ran away with it. Tokarev staying in touch. That gap is closing, 0.6. But he doesn't have enough laps in the race to improve on that one. It looks like we may see Kalev coming around for the last lap. Final lap of the race, lap 50. These guys have stretched that gap out just under 3 seconds. But it's going to be Bruno Kalev from Argentina taking race number 2. Congratulations, ahead of Vlad Tokarev. Then it's Savelyev, Mezhkov and Laszlo. And there was Broadbent right at the end there, doing all he could. Then it was Matthew Parry, Jacob Steele crossing the line, and Troy Kozlowski retiring early. Okay. So race 2 result, it was Bruno Kalev finishing ahead of his arch rival Vlad Tokarev. Savelyev doing well to hold P3 ahead of Alexander Mezhkov. Then it was the Hungarian Laszlo to Glass finishing ahead of Craig Broadbent in P6. Then Matthew Parry falling back into P7 ahead of Jacob Steele and Troy Kozlowski finishing in P9. Okay, so stay tuned. We're coming back for race 3 and we'll be right back after these messages. Okay, welcome back. It is race 3. It's 80 lap stomper. So we've got another driver missing the race, Alexander Meshkov. Guys are now gridding up in pit lane. And we're here for the final. So after the points of the first 2 races, it is going to be Bruno Kalev. We'll go over that very soon. Actually, let's do that now, guys, before we get started. These guys have got one quick out lap while the safety car goes in. So this is the grid for the final. It's Bruno Kalev next to Vlad Tokarev in P2. Then it'll be Sabilyev and Laszlo de Glass up into P4. On the third row, it'll be Craig Broadbent with a consistent 5th all night long next to Matthew Parry. Then it's Troy Chislassi and Jacob Steele starting your final race of the evening. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. If you are, give us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll give a shout out on the broadcast as we head into an 80 lap marathon for these guys. Safety car is in. Let's send the drone up as we get the start. And it's Bruno trying to get up in front of Vlad Tokarev, closing off any battles. Oh, Broadbent getting up into P3, getting the jump on Sabilyev. Broadbent's just going to want to stay with Vlad Tokarev now. These two rivals in the V8 Championship last year, but now we're back here for the NASCAR Round 5 at Phoenix International Raceway. Bruno starting to stretch away already. Only 0.4 of a second, but in oval terms, that's a big distance. He's going to burn up his tyres for the first couple of laps just to get the gap and make sure Tokarev doesn't get on the draft. As we look further back, the Glass dropping back into P5, Broadbent up into 3 now. And Parry still in 6, with Chislasky and still Parry and Chislasky battling it out. There's Chislasky on the inside. Starting to get the hang of this circuit, not easy. And got to get used to these cars as well. Back up front. To Glass starting to come back on the back of Sabilyev. On board now, he's just trying to look after those tyres. I dare say with less cars and more experience, these guys are going to be out doing green runs a lot more, so we could see pitting under green flag. Laszlo tucking in behind Sabilyev from Pro Mix Flame. Down a third gear to get out of the corner, up into 4th. Goes around the outside while everyone else is ducking down the apron. Down a 3rd, trying to get around what's happening up here. Taking the high line. Broadbent up the inside of Sabilyev, or I should say Sabilyev around the outside of Broadbent. As Broadbent drops a spot, the Glass wants that spot as well. Glass down the inside, will he slot in the middle? Yes, he does. That means Broadbent's pushed down one more spot. Into 3rd. Tokarev, you can see just up front. You see Bruno and Tokarev up into 1 and 2. Broadbent needs to just push mid-corner. He can't back off that accelerator. He's going to lose all the momentum. You can see him just fall out of frame there. But he'll come back in a frame under brakes. Watch him close in on turn 4. There he is. He's probably starting to struggle on old tyres. When I say old, they're only 8 laps, but tyres are getting punished here at Phoenix, Arizona, as it's a very awkward circuit. guys ducking down into the apron, trying to shorten that gap to the finish line. On board now with Glass behind Saviliev. You can see Saviliev just washing out just enough to avoid the wall. Just trying to stay with him. Looks like Tokarev is closing on Kalev in P1, so we'll cross to that very shortly. Oh, the Glass trying. Saviliev just shutting the door last second. Broadbent still in the frame, so too Parry back in P6. Jacob still up into P7, getting the job done on Cieslawski. Let's go back to the front where the gap is 0.3, closing each time. Vlad Tokarev, the leading Russian, trying to chase down the Argentinian Bruno Kalev. Looks like he's just scraping the wall. Getting down in third gear nice and early, using the gears to get the car to rotate mechanically, not using the rubber on the front rights as they are probably heating up big time. Very easy to lock up these as well, so important not to lock up the tyres. Otherwise it'll find that sweet spot and stop on that spot each time, making it even worse for the guys to drive these cars, especially with the direct drive steering wheels. Okay, so that's the gap 1 and 2. How's it looking further back? Broadbent just dropping off. The Glass staying with Saviliev. Saviliev finishing in P3 in race 2. He's actually got 2 P3, so this will be very consistent for him if he takes P3 for race 3. Coming away with some very valuable championship points as we bring up the championship table for you. Bottom right hand corner you can see the championship table as it sits after round 4. It may change after this round. Stanica will drop. Stanica will probably stay there in P3 because the Finn is also not here in P4, but the Finn will probably drop down a few spots after tonight's race, missing round. But these guys can drop a round if they miss it, so they are still competitive in the championship. If you want to join the championship, you can join at any time. Just register your vehicle and get on track with us. We'll be opening next round's server as soon as this race is complete, so you can get practicing straight away. So we're watching Broadbent now on the back of Tiglas from Hungary. Broadbent holding down that yellow line very nicely. Just a bit wide on exit, but that's okay because the track is there for him. He's got enough room. This is the tricky one. Not much banking at Phoenix here, so not much help. But we're going back to the front because it's a battle now between Tokarev and Kalev. Side by side, they go into turn 4. If Tokarev washes up and comes a car width from the barrier, he should be able to protect that line. Tokarev just being patient those last 10 laps, looking after his tyres. Saviliev out by himself now as Tiglas is defending hard against Broadbent in P5. But it's Tokarev taking the lead now from Bruno Kalev. To win the round, he'll need Kalev to drop back another spot. Anything is possible, but for Pro Mix Flame, I dare say the team tactics won't be to let Kalev fall back anymore. Saviliev needs to be there for support and hopefully catch Tokarev and bring him back into the fold. Can't afford to stretch away too far ahead of the leaders. As Tokarev now nice and smooth through turn one. Kalev trying different lines now. Starting to struggle on those tyres. Could we see a pit stop on green run? It's going to be very costly if they do. Who's going to blink first? These guys are consuming fuel and tyres at the moment, so it is a game of attrition. Dropping down in third gear is going to get the revs to rise and therefore use a lot more fuel. But Tokarev is getting the job done at the moment. Further back, Saviliev in the green Pro Mix flame. And then Broadbent chasing down Laszlo de Glass from Hungary. Enjoying the coverage, let us know where you're watching from. We've got a Dutchman, Brit, Aussie. Let us know what country you're watching from. As we're watching Matthew Perry from New Zealand in P6, lapping in the 28s. Very much on par with Jacob Steele in P7 from the UK. Back up front, it's still Vlad Tokarev ahead of Kalev, but that could all change within a lap. As we're starting to lap the back markers, you see Troy Cieslawski just ahead of these two. Will Bruno try and tuck him behind and get the launch and get the draft? Cieslawski not holding a solid line, so making these guys in the lead very nervous. Cieslawski needs to stay high or low. Choose one and stay there, and as he does so, he stays high, just scraping the wall there, allowing the leaders to come through. Saviliev coming around turn two now. Okay, so this is already 25 laps under green, a lot better than our first two races. I think we've got maximum 8 laps before the first yellow, but now these boys have practiced racing with each other. They've settled in now and they're starting to spread out. So we've got to Glass and Broadbent right on each other's tail, and there's the gap there. The gap was only 2 tenths, now it's 4 tenths. Same as the leaders out front, but Broadbent really just being patient on those tyres. We should see him get a bit stronger towards the end of the stint at least. We're not even halfway through. Could it be a 1-stop or a 2-stop? We don't know. Broadbent closing on to Glass now. This is turn one, coming out of turn two, down into the apron, taking the shortest line like a bolt of lightning. Go back up the front. Tokarev still out ahead of Kalev at the moment. Oh, it looks like Glass and Parry are in for the first to blink. Parry closing in under pit lane, so Broadbent stays out in P4. This could start a whole bunch of pit stops. Kalev with the fastest lap of the race so far at 26.958. Quite fast under these conditions if he wants to save those tyres. Let's see how many laps these boys drop as they come into the pits. Wojciechowski to Glass and Parry all in pits, already a lap down. The leader staying out another lap is Bruno. Bruno's going to stay out and come in as soon as Vlad Tokarev comes in for his set. Exciting stuff here as we're waiting for the other drivers to blink and come into the pit for their set of tyres as well. That looks like Bruno coming in, and that is Tokarev coming out. Kalev unable to stay out there. Broadbent still out there. Like I said, he's definitely been looking after those tyres. That might get him a few more further laps. He may want to try and get to lap 40 on that set. The first guy to blink was Jacob Steele, and he's out. Oh, Kalev is still in the pits, but Jacob Steele is out there in P4 on the lead lap still. So he's jumped a mile ahead of the other drivers. Laszlo to Glass is back in the pits. Has he suffered a pit lane penalty? Very unfortunate because he was doing very well. And that was Craig Broadbent. Tokarev staying out. Here he comes. I can hear the gears change. Is he going to dive in this one? No, he's not. He's probably going to try and stretch it out. Oh, there's a yellow. There's a cheap pit stop for Tokarev out in front. Who was it? It wasn't to Glass, it's Parry, Cieslawski. No, they're all out. Trying to see who's brought out the yellow. I can't see it as we are under yellow. That is the safety car. So these boys will form up. Tokarev left stranded out in front. He won't be able to pit. Actually, this will be good for Broadbent, but Kalev being given the wave around because he's the lead driver a lap down. So he gets a reprieve, but it's going to be Vlad and Broadbent able to pit early because they are the only two cars on the lead lap. So very timely safety car for Vlad and Broadbent, who's going to benefit from this as well because they won't be able to get their lap back. And it looks like Teglass is coming around with 3 laps down. So Vlad out there picking up the safety car now. There's only 2 drivers on the lead lap allowed to come and pit for tyres. The other guys may come in regardless, but they'll be given an end-of-line penalty if they do. Tokarev coming in for his pit stop now. Very quick for him, no fuel, just tyres. Very surprising. Vlad. Korolev getting back into P1. All these drivers now are on the lead lap. So Vlad getting away with that broadband too. And Jacob Steele. From the UK. It's coming to the pit, so too Troy Kozlowski. So, not too sure how Bruno got the wave around because Vlad had to pit. Okay, so they're going to slot back into, what's that, P4 and 5 with Broadbent further back. Alright, so I hope you're keeping track of your driver and seeing if they should be further up the field. But it looks like everyone's coming for their stop. And this lap we should see everyone slotting into position. So we're 37 laps down, we're not even halfway through. So if we stay under safety car for this long and the boys are saving fuel, because we can see Bruno's not even accelerating at the moment. It's only just accelerating. Okay, so it looks like Broadband and Tokarev. Bruno's got to sit back. R-Factor 2 is trying to sort out this grid, but there's not much time to go. Jacob Steele is there, but not too sure if he has to pit or not. He's sitting in position 3, which probably isn't right. Guys further behind, I'm not too sure where they are. They're trying to catch back. So this is what I was expecting. Tokarev and Broadbent out in front with what looks like Steele, but my score sheet says safety car is in. Let's see how it all unfolds. So green flag, Tokarev up the top line, Broadbent down the bottom. He's very strong on the first lap in turn 1. Will they come together? No, they stay away from each other. There's Broadbent out front, and we're on board with Kalev now. That's Tokarev up high, Broadbent out in front. The Aussie will do the best he can. Sevillia, we are halfway through and we're another yellow. So Jacob Steele involved yet again. I think it was to Glass as well. Try and see what went on here. It was between to Glass and Steele. To Glass down low, tried to come up high, but there was another driver there, and that was Jacob Steele. Nothing Jacob could do to get out of the way, and it is you see the big black marks up on against the wall. To Glass will have to come in. Safety car is back out. Safety car brings on more safety cars. And Broadbent will bring us around. This will help the guys out in front because now we're actually past halfway. We almost got to halfway before the first run of pit stops, and that looks like Jacob Steele unlapping himself, being told to go around the field. As we see him form up into single file or Indian file behind the safety car, out yet again. Alright, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. back. Status quo, we're still behind the safety car. It is lap 42 of 80. And Tokarev coming in the pits. Unexpected from Tokarev. Is he just going to do a splash and dash? He's going to stay out here for position. Hopefully there's another safety car which puts him up the front, but that's probably not going to help him too much. As Tokarev just needs to stay behind the leader as they go around pit lane. He can't overtake within the pit lane, although they've crossed the start finish line, so we should be okay. Matthew Parry also in his another stop as well. Alright, so it's going to be Broadbent, Kalev out in front row, then it's going to be Saviliev and to Glass. Not too sure how he got there, but there he is. And Jacob Steele showing in P4 at the moment, so once the grid reforms, when the lights go out, then we'll see who is in position. So round leader at the moment, and Glass is coming in for his stop as well. Here's a lap down, so that's the lap he's allowed to pit. Will we see? It looks like we're going to go lights out. No, it's another lap because I think Glass dipped into pit lane. So it means the safety car stays out one more lap. Right, so it's Glass fixing. Alright, pretty hot conditions here in Arizona. We are on lap 44 with the safety car. Hopefully we go green to the end. It is 80 lap race. Got the top 8 still out on track at the moment with Craig Broadbent from Australia out in front. Then it's Bruno Kalev from Argentina in P2. Alexis Saviliev foxing to come in. No, these guys are coming in. Or will Bruno tip out? The calculations they're doing, they've calculated that they won't make it around. But there won't be enough time for them to pit and catch up as the lights have gone out on the safety car. Craig Broadbent will lead these guys around. Vlad Tokarev was smart enough to come in a lap earlier, and he is now sitting pretty in P5. So Kalev may have made the wrong call. Pro Mixed Flame has stopped. Is this a splash and dash? Won't be for tyres. There's the field. They will be relegated to the back of the pack, and they'll need to catch pretty quickly as the lead drivers. You can hear Saviliev coming. So it's going to be a sprint to join the back. It looks like they will join the back here. But they're going to have to catch because these guys are coming around the corner to start us off. These guys aren't getting into position, it looks like. Czeslowski, I don't think, should be sitting there in second position or third position, but we'll find out. To cross the line. Oh, Czeslowski up high. Kalev getting the sprint. He didn't do too bad through that late pit stop. Czeslowski up high. Bruno trying to go down low. The big sprint. Czeslowski struggling up on the top rail there. Trying to stay out of everyone's way. To Glass getting in on Kalev's tail there. They're all jostling for position. You can see some going down the apron, some just taking the run around. Matthew Parry up in the P3, the Kiwi. Give him credit, he's up into P3 at the moment, putting pressure on Craig Broadbent. Tokarev stretching out that lead. He doesn't have to save fuel anymore. He probably knows that Broadbent does have to save fuel during this stint if we go to green to the checkered flag. Parry under pressure from Kalev now. Tokarev just trying to get in a rhythm. Savelyev up the back. Someone's been shown the blue flag. It could be Czeslowski or Laszlo to Glass is 2 laps down. So he'll need to give way to Savelyev, who's behind him. Otherwise, he's going to cop a penalty at the end of the race. Savelyev trying to get up in the inside while Glass goes high. Kalev trying to go up the inside of Parry for P3. And he does just that. Nice. Parry tries to come down, but Glass is there from Hungary. Parry staying up out of the apron. The rest coming down, but look at the momentum that they're getting. Parry's running around the outside of him. He's going to run out of the road soon as they come down turn 4 onto the main straight. He may touch the wall. No. So Savelyev will try and get in on turn 1 as he does. On board now with Savelyev from Pro Mixed Flame. Broadbent just tucking in behind Kalev. And that is to Glass up in the mix as well. Although it looks like he's down in P8 at the moment. I'm sure that'll all sort itself out once we cross lap 80. Okay, so Tokarev soon coming under pressure from Kalev. Out in front, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There they are, all on going through turn 1. Savelyev up the inside now. Can he get the job done? He's got the run. Has to go down the apron, make it happen. Try and see where Glass is up high. Just losing it out. Getting the momentum, getting the run down. Savelyev will try and stay low. He's got to stay low to make it happen. Oh, just washing off that speed with the front end. Oh, and there's Parry right behind him as well. Broadbent starting to close in on the front too, making a 3-way battle. Here he goes, he's closing in well within half a second of Kalev in front. Just pokes the wall on the outside of turn 3, trying to get around turn 4 and onto the main straight for the 55th time. Only 25 laps to go. Very smooth from Kalev. He's doing Tokarev's trick now just to stay controlled. Look after those tyres and that fuel. Watch the accelerator work. He'll coast in nice and early, saving on that fuel, stretching out that tank, making sure they get to the end with 23 laps to go. See, there's no accelerating until the exit of turn 2. Keeping that momentum up. That's all he has to do. Just squirt it up and then back it off. Stays in 4th gear as Tokarev drops down into 3rd. And look at the gap closing just through that one corner. See the difference in technique there. Bruno a lot stronger under de-acceleration. Czeslowski retires from P8. Looks like engine trouble with the car from Queensland. as we're on board with Bruno Clef from Argentina, chasing down Tokarev. Broadbent in the middle to Glass, up into P4. Very shaky, getting off the apron, back onto the track. Looks like someone's been shown the blue flag, and that will be to Glass. Trying to unlap himself as he's sitting mid-pack amongst the rest of the drivers. Broadbent quite comfortably in P3. That's been Alexei Saviliev's position all night long. And Saviliev currently down in P5. Or 4, I should say. Alright, so the race is starting to settle in, 61 laps. The lead is just chewing down the lap numbers, making sure they've got enough rubber and fuel towards the end. Otherwise it's going to be a mad dash to pit lane to get to the end. These cars definitely churn through a lot of fuel per lap, but it is a short 27-second lap. I'm not too sure what the attrition rate is. As it looks like Sevilla is coming back up to the back of these guys. Matthew Parry closing in as well, and Jacob Steele from the UK getting used to the vehicle and the fuel burn and tyre burn, as this is his first race back in a year. So we welcome him on board and hope to see him on the next one. Back up front, Tokarev stretching out that gap, just over half a second now. It fluctuates as they come around the last turn onto the main straight. In front of the capacity crowd here at Arizona in Phoenix. Bruno's just chipping away at that lead. Broadbent just trying to learn from these two professionals out in front. Broadbent doing a great job, current V8 defending champion of 2023. He knows how to drive these cars. He's like the Shane Van Gisbergen, going to the States and then showing the boys how to do it. It's all about the racecraft. Yes, these cars only turn left tonight, but next round is Sonoma. That's going to be a road circuit. So these oval boys are going to struggle a bit on that circuit. Although we saw some dominance at Mid-Ohio from Bruno Calef in P2 there. Absolutely dominated that round, but unfortunately he ran out of tyres with 1 lap to go, costing him the round win. I'm sure he's still dirty with that because he's now 5 points behind Vlad Tokarev in the championship. So even if he wins this round, he'll still be P2 until Sonoma. So the boys in front doing a good job. Broadbent there. Now it's to Glass and Saviliev racing for position. Back. And Jacob Steele in the pit lane. Probably his last stop with, what's that, 12 laps to go. Not long now. The leader's just going past. Bruno getting nice and tight to the back of Vlad now. Close on the action with the drone cam. We'll send it up there. We'll get closer down to Bruno. trying to use the camber, trying to use every advantage he can to get that car to rotate without having to use the tyres. These guys are just managing tyres at the moment. It looks like they're not racing, but as soon as they push it, those temps are going to go straight up and they're not going to be able to turn that vehicle at all. The inertia and the momentum, they're just going to understeer straight into that blue fence, causing damage and some aero, which they need to keep maximised. Broadbent still in the mix there, just behind, just over half a second behind. Is Kalev playing it patiently because there is 8 laps to go. I think with about 4 laps to go, he's going to make a move. You can see the heat haze coming off the circuit now as they come round turn 1 in front of a massive crowd. See him closing under, staying in 4th gear. I think Tokarev is actually dropping down to 3rd for that one, and that's why the gap is closing between the two drivers. Bruno's backing off a bit earlier, just slightly. Look at that accelerator work. It's actually full noise going down the front straight, crossing the start-finish line with 6 laps to go now. Turn 1, turn 2 is the most awkward corner, so too turn 4. I remember driving this circuit a few years ago. I just hated trying to get this car to rotate. Alright, we're coming up to 5 laps to go. Is Kalev going to make a move anytime soon? Where is he going to do? He's given a bit of a push, upsetting Tokarev. I'm sure that was unintentional. So they come together. Broadbent's dropping back, but he's by himself now, quite safely, 2 seconds behind. These guys are at it once again. They can't let go. Bruno's got to think about what move he's going to make, and he's got to make it. Oh, he can't afford to touch that wall. He went for it, but those tyres said, I can't turn, mate. You can't make me turn. Tokarev would have been saving on his tyres as well out in front. Bruno trying to cut the track even more. He's got to do it in turn 1 and 2. This is where he's been strongest. He's only got 3 laps to do it in. Tokarev just needs to stay solid out in front. Almost clipping the wall from Tokarev. That could have been a bit of net code. As we're watching the leaders now with 3 laps to go, it's Tokarev from Russia out in front. Bruno Kalev from Argentina in P2. In the Argentinian colours, he's trying all he can. He's trying different angles, but Tokarev has got him on each of those ones. 2 laps to go. He doesn't have much time. He's got to close in on this corner. He's got to absolutely waste these rubber. Don't leave anything out on track if he's going to get the position. And Broadbent coming in the pits from P3. He can't make it. With 2 laps to go, he had to come in. So too to Glass. They tried and tried. They would have run out of fuel. So he's lost it. Saviliev probably saving. And that's bought him his position. That'll be a trifecta of 3rd places for him if he takes this checkered flag right now. But for now, we've got 2 laps to go with these two out in front. Broadbent rejoins in P5 ahead of Jacob Steele and to Glass from Hungary. Doesn't look like he's going to make it, Bruno, so Tokarev is likely to take the checkered flag. And there it is. That's a checkered flag for Tokarev. He's happy with that one. Savelyev just getting ahead of Broadbent, although Parry's already crossed for P4. Although we might see some shuffling of positions here. Broadbent a lap down. So Jacob Steele crossing the line. P6. Then it's Laszlo to Glass hitting, unfortunately, on the last lap. Hoping he could have got through on a smell of an oily rag. But he's got to cross the line for P7. And that is Laszlo to Glass from Hungary, finishing his race in P7. Matthew Parry still out on track. So too Laszlo Savelyev. They're all going out for some fun as we bring you the race results. It was Vlad Tokarev taking the win, 80 laps, just ahead of Bruno Kalev from Argentina. Then it's Alexei Savelyev finishing P3 as he has done all night. Then Matthew Parry finishing P4, Craig Broadbent finishes in P5 after that late unfortunate pit stop, losing P3 right at the last second. So we'll get nice and close. Bruno's burnouts. We'll get rid of the session results as Jacob Steele finishes in 6th, Laszlo 7 and Troy Cieslawski in P8. So congratulations to Bruno Kalev taking the round win for round 5 of the SimHaus NASCAR League for 2024. Thank you for joining us for night. It's been a long night due to some safety cars, but we're glad you stuck with us and hope you enjoyed the telecast. If you did, give us a thumbs up. We want to know and who's watching and receive some great feedback from you guys letting us know. Again, if you want to join us, please do follow the links in the description and get on board on our Discord and register your interest and start racing with us. Anyone can join at any time. It doesn't matter. Just get on track and join in. All right, so that concludes the round 5 of the SimHaus NASCAR League 2024. We will bring you or show you the schedule for next round, which is going to be at Sonoma on the 21st of August. So make sure you tune in for that one. That's going to be a road circuit, dedicated circuit. We've been doing some mixed oval end roads and just ovals and just road circuits. So the next round will be Sonoma, just purely road circuit, and that'll be on the 21st of August. So make sure you tune in for that. And if you are a V8 fan, make sure you tune in for our next one at Simmons Plains on the 14th of August. That's going to be in about 3 weeks' time. So make sure you follow the link, get the calendars in our Discord channel, and register your interest. Get on board, get racing with us, download R Factor 2, get the free content that we provide with the description links to the downloads, and then join us in for the next round. All right, so that concludes the telecast for this round, round 5. Congratulations to Bruno Kalev on screen. And until next time, we out of here.
Watch this.